Alright, all you Streetlight Crusaders, and I guess a couple of you wrestling fans out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, which happens to have the same area code as the amount of shows we have for this week, which is 305. Really? Oh, he wasn't kidding. It really is 305. Nice. But besides that area code update, folks, Monday Night Raw would kick off with none other than the Monday Night Messiah and somebody who still has two eyes in his skull, Seth Rollins, who came out and said that after last night, not only he was sick to his stomach, literally and figuratively, but he got asked questions over and over again of why in the world did you do what you did at the pay-per-view, but he decided to ask a question to the universe out there for the WWE and tell them, do you like what you turned me into? Because I didn't want to do that to Rey Mysterio. You made me do that to Rey Mysterio because of what you guys turned me into, dating all the way back to well over a year ago, back when the crowd and Kevin Owens accused him of working alongside with the AOP. Yes, Maestro, I still remember the reason that led to this whole holier-than-thou moment that Seth Rollins decided to portray since he decided to become the Monday Night Messiah. And after shifting the blame over to the people, he would then go on by saying now that Rey Mysterio is out of sight, which was real mean to say, he would go on to say that now no one is here to stop me from achieving my vision for Monday Night Raw until one man would come out in the form of Aleister Black to not only say that everything that you've done up to this point is not only your fault, but then would say that he was gonna make him pay for what he did tonight. Actually, right now, according to the body language he was giving off, and the fact that he took off his coat and started to march to that ring. And just when he was about to make his way to the Monday Night Messiah, Murphy would get called up to the ramp to try to take him out, only for Murphy to receive a whole series of high kicks to the chest and thrown into the barricade hockey wall over and over again, for Aleister Black to become a buzzsaw to cut right through Murphy to make his way right to the Monday Night Messiah. And during this match, action would go back and forth, but unfortunately would not go in the favor of Aleister Black after he would try to use his fist to punch right through the face of the Monday Night Messiah, and would end up punching the LED turnbuckle post, causing him to have a hurt right hand throughout the entirety of this match that Seth Rollins would take full advantage of by not only doing arm ringers, but also moves that would really affect the arm of one Aleister Black, including a modified triangle hold that would hold the arm of Aleister Black behind his head. And this match will come to an end that again, even though Aleister Black was able to hit a black mass on not only Murphy, but also on Seth Rollins for him to roll outside of the ring because of Murphy's distraction leading to that secondary black mass, for Aleister Black to go into an arm wringer from Seth Rollins that would lead directly into a curb stomp, for Seth Rollins to win this match via pinfall. But after the match was over, Seth Rollins was not done, because then he would decide to slam Aleister against the hockey wall with the help of Murphy, then would decide to slam his arm and hand against the turnbuckle post, followed up by a series of shots with his hand against the announce table, and then finally would say, I didn't want to do this, you made me do this, and nobody is here to save you, but I can tell you who's here to save you, your Messiah, that's who, and then would step on the hand of one Aleister Black on top of the curtain that was on top of the announce table for Aleister Black to scream in pain, for Seth Rollins to take someone else out using Bible metaphors. besides the eye for an eye, the tooth for a tooth, and a hand for a hand. So I can only imagine whose tooth and foot he's gonna take out next on his quest for the perfect vision of Monday Night Raw. And I got a feeling we're gonna figure it out over the next couple of weeks for anybody who decides to get in the way of Seth Rollins. And immediately after that moment of taking out body parts, the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw would see Ron Simmons talking backstage with MVP and Bobby Lashley, telling them you should really think about what you're doing and try to do the right thing, only for Bobby Lashley and MVP to just scoff it off, all while R-Truth carrying a frying pan, wondering what in the world is going on, for MVP to say, hey, MVP, how about you go ahead and join us to the ring, for R-Truth to not only say that he's not the real United States champion, and that's a cool replica belt that he was wearing, but also would decline the offer of one MVP and Bobby Lashley, only for the real 24/7 champion to show up in the form of Shelton Benjamin with a super kick and a pinfall, for Shelton Benjamin for the first time in his career to become 24/7 champion and join them toward the ring, which would lead to MVP and Shelton Benjamin along with Bobby Lashley to all join together to expand the Hurt Business, and would then go out there and try to legitimize the fact that he won the United States Championship last night by defeating Apollo Crews due to the fact of the injuries caused to him by one Bobby Lashley 1 month ago that caused him to fail his physical just before their match. And yeah, nope. Delusions of grandeur in my book, and would be seen the same way from not only Ricochet, but also from Cedric Alexander as well, who would call him out on being a champ, but instead call him a chump, and then would even say that they managed to get one other person who says that his title reign is BS to help him fight them tonight in the form of the return of Mustafa Ali, who not only returned to Monday Night Raw after a long hiatus, but also will return to Monday Night Raw with his name back. Nice! And not to mention with that cool mask that he wears that lights up, but unfortunately didn't come out with the Iron Man laser hand that he usually has when he goes out to the ring. Maybe by next week. But during this match, folks, the Hurt Business will be in full effect with Bobby Lashley beating the Living Daylights flag tag out of Cedric Alexander during this match, even flipping him out of his shoes at one point with a clothesline, and even taking him out in the corner with a gut check, giving MVP enough time to pull out his bull-in elbow drop for a near fall, and even his kick in the corner for a near fall as well on Cedric Alexander. But ultimately, this match will come to an end again after not only Cedric Alexander and, of course, his friend Ricochet would try to take out Bobby Lashley with suicide dives, only for Mustafa Ali to dive outside of the ring so hard it would cause Bobby Lashley to fly over the announce table, only for Ricochet to get taken out with a Tiger knee to the face by Shelton Benjamin on the outside, leaving none other than Mustafa Ali to go one-on-one against MVP, and he would be able to take him out not only with that X-Ray X-Factor, only to finish the job with a beautiful 450 splash on MVP in the ring, almost near the dead center, for the team of Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali to win this match via pinfall. And I wish I could see the 054 again, but apparently it's gonna be a while before we see that move again. I mean, hey, I missed it. It was a pretty cool move to see. And immediately after that match, folks, the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would see none other than Ruby Riott going one-on-one against Peyton Royce. Now, prior to this match taking place, Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair would talk backstage about their win last week, only for none other than Peyton Royce to interrupt it by not only bringing up the fact that her friend Liv Morgan is still nowhere to be found, only for Ruby Riott to take offense to that, and then for Bianca Belair to say that she'll meet her in the ring, and she, meaning Ruby Riott, meaning Peyton Royce in the ring, only for Ruby Riott to take it to Peyton Royce during this match, despite the fact that Peyton Royce was able to do that high roundhouse kick she did 2 weeks ago to almost take out and take off the head of one Ruby Riott during this match. From out of nowhere, you would see Ruby Riott hitting the Riott kick, taking out Peyton Royce during this match, and winning this match, and finally getting a win by herself in weeks via pinfall. And according to the Maestro, this would be Ruby Riott's first victory in well over a year and a half on television. Jeez, a year and a half that she didn't win a match by herself? That's bad. That is real bad. But despite that year and a half victory, folks, we might as well head back into the music and grab a glass of water, because when we return, we'll be back with the second half of what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.